So we all know, you know, Pearl Harbor. We know what happened at Pearl Harbor. We know that it was a horrible attack, unprecedented attack on an unknowing population of Hawaii by the Japanese. The last survivor of the Arizona just passed away at 102. There's not a lot of people that were alive back then still alive now. And most of them that were alive back then weren't old enough to understand what politics were going on or read a newspaper. They just knew something bad happened. So we're all in the child phase of the information that we know from World War II and Pearl Harbor. We're in the innocent phase because we weren't alive then. We weren't reading the newspapers. We didn't know what geopolitical stuff was going on. Well, we do if we open the right books and we read the right information. But as far as a lesson plan for schools, that type of stuff, that's besides the point because it happened and what happened was a tragedy and move on. But it wasn't as big of a surprise back then as everybody tries to make it out to be. There were a lot of signs that it was about to happen, and some of them are America's fault. You see, during the Spanish-American War, a war we won, we took a lot of Spain's territories real easy because Spain wasn't even out there protecting them in the South Pacific. We'd just show up and go, "You're part of America now," and they'd be like, "All right." It was real easy for us to take the entire South Pacific, Philippines, all the islands, everything. It was really easy for us to take it from Spain because Spain wasn't out there protecting them. They were too busy fighting us on the Atlantic. The Pacific was wide open for us to just troll around and take. And we won that war, so they were ours now. Well, a couple years go by. Japan's imperialistic mindset is like, well, shoot, we need to expand. Because all the great empires expand. So, let's take Korea first, and then we'll take China. And so that's what Japan was doing. And America, being allies with China at the time, which, in hindsight, maybe we should have let Japan fucking take over China, but that's besides the point. That might have opened up a whole new fucking can of worms. But China was our ally, and they were like, "Please, America, help us." And America was like, "Well, we're not going to send you any military help, and we're not going to get into a fight, but we can close the shipping lanes to Japan through the South Pacific so they can't get oil, so they can't fuel their machine, so they can't expand." So that's what we did. We put embargoes on and tariffs and everything on Japan. And kept telling Japan, leave China leave China alone and we'll leave your industry alone. And Japan was like, this is our Pacific. You can't even protect your Pacific. This is our ocean. We'll do on it as we please. Get your ships out of the way or we'll sink them. And America was like, you're not going to touch our fucking boats. You don't want to see what happens if you wake up the sleeping giant. And Japan was like, okay, fine. Yeah, all right. We'll tell you what you want to know. Have all of our ambassadors come home. Send them all home right now. Well, that's the first sign. The first sign should be America fucking around with pissing off China or Japan in the first place by preventing their industry to grow, by preventing them the supplies to get to them. That pissed them off. But the first sign that we should have known that we pissed them off, I mean, I'm sure we knew we pissed them off, but the first sign that something bad was going to happen was when Japan goes, bring all the ambassadors home, we're done talking to these fools. That should have been the first fucking, oh shit, we're probably getting ready to go to war. they're bringing all their ambassadors home. That's like that's step one of declaring war against somebody. Two, when all those planes came in, I believe the radar technicians were like low staffed because it was low priority. They were only expecting a couple of bombers from California. It wasn't like, nothing new, nothing to to raise your eyebrows about. Radar wasn't as good as it is now. But the point is none of that would have happened if it wasn't for China. We were going to get into World War II one way or not. Germany was like, if Germany was able to do what it was going to do, it would have came for us sooner or later. If we never stepped in and they beat France and they beat England, they would have then taken over Spain and Portugal. They would have spread throughout Europe, and once they got established in all of Europe, we would have been next. And we wouldn't have had a military built up or anything. And us being a country surrounded by two oceans, all they would have had to do is shut off all of our trade and anything, and eventually our stock market would have crashed again. They would have won a war of attrition if we didn't step in. So eventually we would have had to. So Japan bombing us was the best thing to happen for us because it turned on our fucking our war industrial complex. And Americas don't do like halfway. America works like a light switch. Either it's on or it's off. We do it with industry. We do it with nation building. It's either on or it's off. It either works or it doesn't. We are not good at just moderation. We are not good at, just make enough to last. No, we make enough to last, to sell, to like, we're still using bullets that are like 30 years old because we just be building shit. Because the only way to stop building shit is to just turn it off. We don't go into, okay, well now let's just build one. We don't need hundreds. We're not at war anymore. No, we're still cranking out the same amount as if we were in war, because if we are in war, overwhelming firepower wins wars. And we're going to have, like, we're a country where every living human and their dog, we have enough guns and bullets for all of that. Yeah, we're just going to keep building. And then we'll sell the old stuff to other countries and keep the new stuff. But that's besides the point. The real reason Pearl Harbor was bombed was because of America protecting its allies. And Japan not understanding the monster that is America. Any other country, if they would have done that to any other country, it would have completely removed that country from any type of war whatsoever. Any way to defend itself, any way to defend its territories. If Spain still owned the South Pacific, those would all be Japanese islands by now. Any other country, that would have crippled how that country operates in the Pacific. Not us. We be building shit. You flipped that light switch. Like I said, America's only work on either on or off. There is no mediocre, there is no halfway. Either we're all in or we're all out. And we went all in. And we brought the sun to the land of the rising sun twice. So Japan seems to have learned their lesson, because now all they do is make video games and anime and act really weird in public. Also, while being the cleanest nation and the kindest nation and the most moral nation on the planet. But I think that's more a credit to the people just going, okay, We can't do war the way we used to. It's not samurai shit no more. They brought the sun twice. If they could bring the sun twice, and they're building more, yeah, I don't know about you, but I can't stand summer sometimes because it's hot and humid. I don't want to live on the sun. So this is a little bit more insight as to what happened at Pearl Harbor. America was a victim, but America was also poking the bear. So when you poke the bear, the bear's going to lash out. Typical American, we were poking the bear because we were trying to make it our friend, and it lashed out, so we put it down. That's just how we roll around here.